in my head. I don't know how to cope with this. I'm keeping secrets in my head. Or any space you can find. Glad to see that I can help. Make your life a bit easier. But have you ever thought of how I felt? You need to think about your behavior.
I smell late night snacks and stuff. Yes. This is Butch On Sports, the Saturday, Sunday edition. Why? Because it's after 11:30. Hey, I can understand. Yes, indeed. Butch On Sports is here. Yes, he is. To give you another view of politeness in its own special way here. Sports news that you can't get enough of. And I'm going to try to do my very best to give it to you here in this next 20, 25 minutes, 30, whatever, to keep some sports news you can't get enough of. Let's start off. Where can we start off? There's a lot of stuff we're going to cover, so let's start off with the good stuff first here. Detroit Tigers lose again. Another one. They lost their 7th of 8 games here now. It's beginning to come mature. They lose to Cleveland. Did not have a lead. Cleveland had a brand new pitcher, just called up. And struck everybody out in the first inning. Okay. From that point on, Detroit Tigers were there. They did show some giddy up. Well, I'm just trying to boost the doggone story up a little bit so you can smile. They ain't showed nothing. Cleveland wins. Remaining of the series tomorrow afternoon, early, I think about 1 o'clock. And then the Tigers will be coming home. And we'll talk about that in a wee bit, okay? Yes, well, let's talk about it now. They'll be coming home to Texas and also the 2019 edition of another National League team coming into play. The Washington Nationals will come into town there. It would have been nice if Bryce Harper was here, but it's not. But other characters and interests are having at it in Washington, and a pretty doggone good team indeed. I can't understand why all these teams lose people and still keep their stuff together here, and the Tigers can't. But again, it will be the 1984 celebration of that particular World Series team. Many are already committed, and they will be in town. So why can't you? Yours truly will be down there a couple of days, Friday and Saturday to boot, to check out the festivities of this long weekend edition of the Detroit Tigers and this 84 edition. And a lot of players coming in. They're going to do this between the 25th and the 30th here, okay? So all week long, they're going to be celebrating the 84 teams being in there. You know, if some already don't live here already. So we'll give you a drift of that on the Wednesday edition of Butch On Sports. Highlights, hopefully. But next week we'll have some interviews and, get some feelings about how they're doing now here. Yes, indeed. Yours truly wasn't in town during that particular time. I was living on the West Coast, Portland, Oregon. They have at it there where I was living at there when that 84 edition of the Detroit Tigers at Tiger Stadium ripped the guts out of the San Diego Padres, and this city again. Very few had a ball at that point in time here. Boy, wouldn't it be something when the Lions end up winning here? I hope I'm living to see that. The Detroit Pistons had that draft. That draft on Thursday night. And I'm going over some of the players that they rekindled here. On the first round, the 15th pick, Sadoki Doumbouya is the particular person the Detroit Pistons get. He is a point forward. He's from the country of France, where he was a professional at 15 years of age. 15 years of age there. His height is 6'9". And he is supposed to be very, very good. He is 18 years now and 6 months. He's still learning the game. However, scouts said that he has an upside second to none. And you can get this guy in your reps and train him a little bit here and have some good people around him. He can make contributions very much so right away. That's how good this guy is here from France. So, with the general manager saying he wants players that want to be coachable, I thought that was the best thing that anyone from the Detroit Pistons have said in the last 3 years. Coachable. They haven't had those players who are quote-unquote coachable. They go out and do what they want to do. Maybe put up a good practice. But in the game, they don't play no defense, they don't play no offense, they don't do both. And that's been the problem of the Detroit Pistons all along. So they have this young player in town ready to go. He is the first-round draft choice. We have some more in this round 2, the 7th pick from the Mavericks after the draft. Davidas Savardis is the particular person they picked. He is a shooting forward, or should I say a strong forward, I should say. He's from Lithuania. He was the eyes of sore eyes in that particular country as, again, another young kid, a pro. He is 6'8" in height. So let's see what he does there. Isaiah Roby in the second round. He was the 15th pick. He was a point forward as well. His position per se, playing. He's from Nebraska. And he's 6'8" as well. Detroit, the biggest pick here, and the most surprise pick of the whole deal here, was almost one of the final picks of the draft. When this particular individual from Kentucky had his brothers and his friends were giving him a party and knowing that this guy was going to be picked sooner, and they had almost given up hope. Matter of fact, the guy was getting on live Twitter and Facebook telling how disappointed he was and all. And right behind him, the TV screen, or the television screen, lit up like a Christmas tree, giving this guy's name Jordan Bones. He's the second-round pick. He was the 27th pick. We got this pick from the Atlanta Hawks via the Nuggets, via the Bucks, via the Pelicans after the draft. He will be signed, sealed, delivered. He is part of the Pistons now. He is a very good guard. And I don't know how this guy went so doggone low. From looking at the films and the tapes of him, this guy is exactly what the Pistons need. Someone who's aggressive, knowing what they want to do, what they have to do, and not scared to get people motivated. This is a young kid. He's 6'3" in height. Again, he played tremendously in Tennessee, and just the tone, how this guy carries himself along, on the basketball court, that is, okay, is second to none. Like I said, I see all the films of this particular guy, and he knew what he wanted to do, and he had people buying into it, and nothing more when you get a point guard that can get his players around him to buy in what he wants to do. Boy, it's a happy-go-lucky time. Isaiah Thomas did it. Chauncey Billups did it. You know, come on. That's what we need here. in that particular. That is the draft for the Pistons now. Now, they're going to pick a slew of free agents and whatnot here for them to get the show started. As next week they're going to have workouts. I'm quite sure those free agent kids that they will pick up is going to be somewhat a lovely thing. Meanwhile, Joe Dumars, he used to be with the Pistons and certainly made some mistakes throughout his time. And I wouldn't say they were mistakes. I'd say he was the odd man out because the Pistons was gutting the organization wholeheartedly from the teams that they own, such as the Shocks and other teams and other legalities there, for just this lady who is the wife of Bill Davidson, said, I don't want all this stuff anymore. I'm the owner. I don't want it. So I'll sell it to the highest bidder. And she did. But within doing that, it hurt a lot of things that Detroit had. Detroit no longer has a women's basketball team, which, by the way, and I'm going to say it just loudly here, they need to get on that right away, the Ellis family. That needs to happen. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. If you don't do nothing but place them down there at U&D or a smaller venue, maybe a community college setting, we need a professional women's basketball team in this town. That doesn't make any sense here. But Joe Dumars now is with the Sacramento Kings. Yeah, he is a consultant to Vlade Divac. And CoAmerica, he reported this particular story, but Joe Dumars is going to be helping out the Sacramento Kings. And he's a bright guy. He's a very talented guy when it comes down to getting talent in. He knows that up close to none. A couple of those picks in the final analysis there, they led up to crap. And that's because he was given crap to deal with. He wasn't given the pleasures of the kingdom when Mr. Davidson was living, and everything was very good and stable here. So again, you got to have a fair deck of cards be dealt to you if you don't want to go bonsai deluxe here. And that what happened to Joe Dumars there. Okay, the summer league is coming, and it'll be coming starting July the 5th, and we're talking about Las Vegas. They do have one in Orlando here, but, I'm seeing teams bar away from the one in Orlando because, it's just not the same. It was one of the first, and that's when all the teams were going down there and having some fun. Then Las Vegas got very involved in it because they had two venues they used, the Cox Pavilion, and they're both on the University of Las Vegas's tender there when there's a particular comes there. And they do have another arena there, which is T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, which is the third, within the city limits that they can go out there and have some B-ball deluxe here. Detroit Pistons is going to be starting off that extravaganza on July the 5th at 3 p.m. They're going to play Croatia. It's going to be over in town in Las Vegas, that is, and they're going to play the Pistons at 3 p.m. That'll be the first kickoff of many games that are going to be had either at Cox Pavilion or, yes, indeed, Thomas Mack Arena there, which, again, ESPN and the NBA TV are the ones and the places you got to see in order to catch some of the hoopla of the young players playing. I know everybody's looking out for that big game. Yes, indeed, the big game of these young players. Highlight there, that will be at 9:30 on the, 9:30 on the 5th. New Orleans will play the New York Knicks at Thomas Mack Arena. And ESPN will be covering that. Not ESPN2 or ESPNU, ESPN. They're going to be on that one. Second and 9. And then it's a doubleheader, Denver versus Phoenix that night. A lot of basketball, okay? So don't be the last place champ there. Check it on out there. Starting the 5th for the Summer League. Get to see those young kids' talent there. Plus some others that they're going to sign. Many of these teams signing. Pistons haven't said anything yet. Or haven't sent me nothing yet. So I can't give you anything yet. So as soon as they do, You'll have it too. Okay, on Friday, the NHL draft was just not a thing of surprise. It was a thing of beauty for the Detroit Red Wings because they came in doing some good pickings for 2 days worth of work. Of course, Friday was the presidential, I'll take as much time as I need to get the job done kind of thing, so they can all do it for show, or the first round draft picks of every little team that came on the bad boy here, and then they had some other little special things they did in between. This is their week because the day before on Wednesday they had the award ceremonies and stuff for the National Hockey League before they jumped on over to Vancouver. And I said last week, I said Montreal. I was wrong. Montreal did have a party as per every team. They had what you call these outdoor facilities where they had the big giant scream up, and Detroit Red Wings were well represented. It was humongous amount of people down there on a Friday night. That was cool. Red Wings did their picking. Maurice Sadar is the newest member of the Detroit Red Wings. Was this a big surprise? The only surprise was he was still there when the Red Wings picked him. Many know that this young kid may have some hesitation in coming to the United States, but for Steve Yzerman to pick this guy number 6, ooh. This guy's about 6'4" in height. Okay? Nice and big. Just the way you want a defenseman. Steve Yzerman, and looking at this draft and the players that I'm going to mention to you there, he made a lot of commitment on the defense. I am so happy because it is the most noticeable portion of the Detroit Red Wings arsenal there that looks very funky and has been for the last maybe 6 years. The defense is a slop jar. Have good goaltenders, and when these goalies stop the initial save, you got to have some help, and that's your defenseman clearing people out and clearing the puck out the way so the goaltender can breathe a little bit. We have good goaltenders, okay? We have had good goaltenders. They had to go elsewhere because there were no room for them. Pete Masaryk is an example to that rule because he was the better goaltender than Jimmy Howard for a good while. Jimmy Howard's just blooming, but again, Jimmy Howard and Masaryk needed help, and they never receded as far as their defense is concerned. But Detroit took care of that in their first draft pick, the 6th overall pick, okay? Now, they continue to add to those selections there in the second round. They had 3 selections there. They had Ante Tumoso, the 35 overall pick, center Robert Mastromanto. Some of these names, boy, oh boy, I'll get them right. He was the 54th pick overall, defenseman Albert Johansson. Okay, he was the 60th pick overall before they choose the right winger, Albert Grit. In the 3rd round, he was the 66th overall pick. For that, majority of these picks are defensemen, and what makes this so doggone grand, their 5th pick and in the 66th pick of the draft, they had a lot of good stuff there, about 5-6 men there, and that didn't stop from there. In the mid rounds, the Red Wings selected right wing Ethan Phillips, the 97th pick overall. So within the first 100, the Red Wings got about a good 7 people. In 4 rounds, and in 4th round they chose Cooper Moore, the 128th overall pick in the 5th round. They had some extra pick in the final 2 rounds of the draft. Emmer Soderblom, okay, 159th overall pick. He's a right winger, and defenseman Gustav Berglund, 170 overall pick in the 6th round. Left winger Tura Tayayi, okay, the 190th pick. He's a left winger. Goaltender Carter Garlander, the 991st pick. for the Detroit Red Wings in the 7th round. They went for defensemen, indeed some couple of wingers and maybe 3 at the best, but majority of these picks are defensemen and 1 goaltender there. Detroit are good stock for goaltenders, unless you can show something like the young man from St. Louis, who wasn't even thought about, but yet still played the role of Mighty Mouse and said, "Here I come to save the day," and did it. Detroit Red Wings also announced their home opener for the 2019 20th regular season for the 94th campaign in the National Hockey League. Except for Sunday, October the 6th, the Red Wings will play the Dallas Stars at 5 p.m. at Little Caesars Arena. It's nothing like the home opener, and it's on a Sunday. Not on a Thursday or school night or whatever it may be. It is on a Sunday at 5 o'clock. You have your snack before you come in and see the game and get home at a decent hour. The Red Wings have won 5 of their 6 last home openers with a 51-31-9 and 1 record on time on opening night. Detroit has opened its home schedule against Dallas on 2 occasions and split a pair of their matchups there, with the Stars claiming a 2-1 win in 2013 and the Red Wings earning a 3-1 victory in 1997. The complete NHL 2019-20 regular season schedule will come out on Tuesday evening, or late Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening. That schedule will be available, matter of fact, for the whole National Hockey League. The full schedules of the regular season, those will be out then. And that's Tuesday. You don't have to wait long for that. Right after the fireworks celebration in downtown Detroit, it's River Days doing these times in the city of Detroit there. And, a lot of partying going on there. Now, I spoke on this here, but I'm holding the best for last. I see a lot of negative things about the Tigers right now. And, hopefully these kids get a whiff of what champions look like and what they were doing and don't take it for granted. I know some of the players can't wait to get out of town by sundown. But you got any guts in the country, they'll take this on in with the quickness there and enjoy it, because this is something that they're not. And they're not doing a damn thing to acquire how these particular men out there who will be in town for this upcoming week of the anniversary of the 1984 World Championship team. Okay, 6 games is going to be dealt with here, from the Rangers to the National CoAmerica Park, June 25th to the 7th. They're going to have Q&As with Trammell and Whitaker. They're going to be giving away stuff. They're going to bump into players like Dave Rosemont, who will treat you like you as his brother, mother, or anybody else. This guy's a lovable guy here. And gets around, too. And it's going to be one heck of a good time, just to talk to some players and the players who are surviving at this point in time here, just to get their take on how things was. And for me, personally, like I said, I was not here in the city to enjoy, at that point in time, the festivities of a championship and they going out in the street and having a good time and parading there, because, I was living, elsewhere, 3,000 miles away here. So, yeah, I'm going to, kind of take this on in as a treat, okay? And some of the interviews I will share with you next weekend, okay? For sure. Okay, Saturday and Sunday I will definitely be down. I don't know about Sunday. I got the time to carry. Expenses is really crappy these days here. However, we'll try to do our best to cover that there for you there. That's going to be all next week. Get on down there to CoAmerica Park and check it on out. Fill the place up for a change. It's been got it for quite some. I know the talent down there stinks, but let's support this particular there. Maybe encourage these young kids to have some heart here. Every game, not when they feel like it. A former Boston Red Sox star, David Ortiz, has been moved out of intensive care as this particular Saturday, he's continued to recover from gunshot wounds that he suffered in Dominican Republic here. His wife Tiffany gave this report through the Red Sox organization, saying that Ortiz was out of ICU. However, will continue to recover under the care of his doctors there. A little note here that from his wife through the Boston Red Sox state as followed. David was moved out of the intensive care unit at Mount Massachusetts General Hospital. He remains in good condition and continues to recover under the care of Dr. David King and Dr. Larry Ronans. Okay, so that was there. And that's cool. So let's wish him well in his endeavors with Mr. Ortiz. The United States playing some soccer here these days. Here. Let's start with the men there. Last night, I should say, as we've gone into Sunday morning doing this podcast here. United States played Trinidad and Tobago of the Gold Cup or whatever. And I have a hard understanding of the significance of this particular tournament means here. But the United States is in it, and they showed themselves very well, and they got back at Trinidad and Tobago by a final score of 6-0. They routed these guys here. And, and kind of makes up for the screw-up that they did trying to qualify and did not get in the World Cup for men there. That regime, boy, that was just too tight for anyone to have to go through, man, woman, or beast. I tell you, because the management just didn't care. But hey, they changed that all up. United States, congratulations. They'll continue to move on as they probably play in their little round robins or something before they get to the elimination round in the Gold Cup. Of course, the women are still in the World Cup, okay? And the U.S. women will be playing this upcoming Monday. Yes, Monday, the U.S. women will be playing a late-night game indeed. I don't know if it's Spain or whatever. I have not looked. I have to look that on up here, okay? But, yes, they're in action on Monday. Best thing to do is go to the World Cup. Go to Fox's link. Fox is the contributor of all the television of the particulars, or you can go to the World Cup website, indeed, for the Women's World Cup, and look it up, Google it, look it up, and they will tell you right now, because the times are now definite for the knockout round. The winners go to, of course, the quarterfinals before the semifinals, before the finals. So we're going to see 16 teams participate, and at the end of this round, 8 will remain, the Great 8 for soccer, okay? And for that, I can split. Boy, I got to clear my throat here. A lot of talking here makes a guy worthy indeed here. Oh, my goodness gracious. Let me stop and say this particular program, Butch On Sports, is a presentation of my darling productions. Please, boys and girls, take care of the young kids, okay? It's summertime now, recreational stuff going on here. No more school goodies here, but recreational stuff, illegal football practices of the high schools, and all that other good stuff is going on right now here. Please be careful out there. Get out there and support them. And then some of these coaches ain't doing right. You parents get out there and tear in their rear end here, and or tell somebody so these kids don't suffer, okay, during the summer months here, because a lot of going on, okay. However, support them, okay, recreational or whatever. Get out there and support them. They could be doing a whole heck of a lot of things they got no business doing, but you got your eyes up on them. That cuts all that on out here. I am out of here. Butch On Sports on Facebook. Podomatic, SIMPOYBUTCHTOO.podomatic.com. Also the Game Sports Show website, and also the YouTube page of the Game Sports Show. Scott Nason, the author and producer of that particular, is on that particular medium as well. I'll be on, yes, I will be on this Monday, coming up on the game, 6:40. Yes, 6:40 at that. Have a good weekend. Remaining of it there. Whatever days are down there, be safe. And also fireworks on Monday downtown.